1 times 5. The only way that you can get a 2, yeah, if they're prime numbers, it shouldn't be bad. But why is this not coming out? Oh, okay, it's our difference. So say it again, Armando. There you go. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1, and that difference is right here. And in fact, I know that I have to have a 5 probably times a positive 2. So we can start putting our parentheses. So it's going to be, here are the 5 is our first number, so these two are going to be in our first parentheses. So it's going to be A times the 5A. And you can check it, it comes to the 5A squared. And that 5, we multiplied it times that 2. So that 5 has to be multiplied by the 2. And in fact, we need more positives, so this is where our positive is going to go. That's going to give us our positive 10. And the other number was the 1A times the 1A. Who knows the sign of this one? Negative. Very good. And I actually should have done it here so you can see. So that's a positive 10 minus 1, which would give us our positive 9. And I forgot to do the positive. So again, on the first one, I forgot to do it. It's A plus 7. And on the other one, it's A plus 3. So where you see a 13 at the bottom, you're going to put the letter P. And this one was A plus 2 right here. And there they're 5A minus 1. So that's a 7, and it's connected with the I. So where you see a 7, put the letter I. Then, okay, this one. This one is very similar to the one that we just did. So who knows how we have to start number 9? You have to multiply very good, the 2 times the 15, but don't actually multiply them together. Keep them as separate factors. And this is a plus, which means we're going to plus our factors to come to 11. We're going to sum to get to a positive 11. What's the only way to get a 2? Okay. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know. 2 times 1. Now there's 2 ways to get 15. What do you want to try first?
5 and 3.
So 5 and 3. Let's see if that works. Is that going to work? We're going to sum our products. I think that...
One would go with 5 and 2 would go 3.
1 would go at 5. That's it. Okay, good. Because, again, it has to sum to 11. So actually multiply it out. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. And that does sum to that. So this one's actually going to be a little bit easier. Since everything is positive, we know our signs are positive, and we sum our factors, which we've already done. So now we can write it down. Our first terms are going to be 2A times 1A. So 2A times, and if you want to put the 1A, you can put 1A. And the 2 is multiplied by the outside 3. The 2 is multiplied by the outside 3. And the 1A is multiplied by the inside 5. And who knows what our signs are going to be? Both positive. So, such again that I checked it. 5A plus 6A gives us the 11A. And 2 plus 5A is down here. A plus 3 is right here. So that 16 goes with the O. Alrighty. This next one is binomial squared. What causes the middle to drop out? Who knows what causes the middle to drop out? A what sign and a what sign? A negative and a positive. So this one you can go right at it. How are we going to get a 1 as our first term? 1 times 1. This has a perfect root. Who knows what we're going to multiply to get 9a to the 4th? 3a to the what? 3a squared and 3a squared. Such that, again, to get a negative, one has to be positive, one has to be negative. And that's it, such that if I, added a 3a squared and a negative 3a squared, it's going to drop out, and that would be left. So that is it. So that is the number 8 connected to the n. And again, we're going to do 2 more. Again, I should have started with something else, but it's okay. All right, so on this one should be mental math. How do we get an a squared? A times a. Who knows what the signs are going to be?
Negative and positive.
But negative times positive gives me a negative.
Or positive, positive.
But then I won't get a positive here. Negative times positive is going to give me negative. I don't have a negative.
Positive and a negative?
Thank you, ma'am. It has to be a negative times a negative such that when I multiply, I'll get a positive 30, and such that I sum, I'll get a negative 11a. So I'll go over here and just write it out. So all I need to look for are factors of 30, and again, that plus tells me I'm going to sum my factors. This should be really easy. Who thinks they know? This is 1 times 30, 2, 3 times 10, 5 times, and which one is it? The 5 times 6, because that gives us a sum of 11. So it's right there, we're done. Such that if I did the inside and the outside, it comes to the negative 11. So that one is 1 goes with the B. And we'll do this number 12. Which is that? 94 and that 95 is, oh. All right, so this last one. It has a number in the front. So if it has a number in the front, what do you have to do?
10 times 1.
10 times 1. Very good. 10 times 1, such that, again, this is a minus, so we have to subtract or take the difference to get a negative 3. So the 1 is easy. The only way to get a 1 is a 1 times 1. How do you want to try the 10? What 2 numbers?
2 and 5.
2 and 5, I think that's going to be it. Can you see which ones you'd multiply? So the difference would be 3?
5 and 1 and 2.
Very good. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2, such that that difference is there. And in fact, I actually need a negative 5, because I have more negatives, and a positive 2. But, so here's our first numbers in each of the parentheses. So right here, a 2 and a 5a, 2a, and 5a. And then, so get that down. Then that 2 is on the outside. It's going with the outside 1. In fact, they're both going with a 1. And the 5 is going with the inside 1. But now the question is,
They're both taking positive.
Careful. How can they both be positive when I've got a bunch of negatives here? One has to be what? One has to be positive, one has to be negative to get a negative 1. Positive 1 times negative 1 is a negative 1. The question is, where does the negative go? I have to have more negatives. The 5a. When I go 1 times 5, I get a 5. 2 times 1, I get a 2. I need more negatives, so it's going to go with this 5. It's going to go right here. And then this one is going to be the positive. And if you need to check it out, negative 1 times 5a is negative 5a. 2 times 1 is positive 2. And that sums to the negative 3a. Okay, so we're done with those. So that's going to be, where? I don't see that answer now. It's where? Okay, here it is. Okay, so the 2a minus 1 is right here with the r, and the 5a plus 1 is right here, so the 5 goes with the r. And so now we've done all different kinds. You're going to end up doing these. But we also then need to do this, and it looks like a lot, but the only problems are on the top. Let's see which one is harder. Oh, okay. Okay, we've got tomorrow, we've got 14 of those. All right, we're going to try to do as many of these as we can. So I'm going to work backwards. Usually the backwards are the harder ones. Now, who can tell me there's something special on this one that we have to do? Who knows what we would want to do first? These numbers are so big, I don't want to work with it that big. Is there any way we could make it smaller? Reduce it by taking out, what's a number that's in every single one of the numbers? A 6. So I'm going to pull out a 6. And by the way, if you want to, you could go here and go 6 times 10. This one was 6 times 9. And this is 6 times 1. So when you pull out a 6, you can see what's left. Also, can I pull out a letter?
Yes, M.
A single M. Okay. So now we have a trinomial left. 6 times what is going to give you 60?
10.
10. And we pulled out 1 M. How many M's are left?
3.
We pulled out 1 M,
two.
so 2 are left. Okay. And 6 times 9, was that 54? So plus 9. We're pulling out an M, so how many M's are left? 1 M minus, oh, this is a good one, so I'm going to say this different. 6M times what will give us 6M back? A 1. So now on this worksheet, you're not only going to pull out a factor, now it's going to incorporate all of the factoring that you've done. So this is very similar. Isn't this similar to something we just did? No, kind of. All right. So 6M, but now when we have a number in the front, we've got to go the first times the last. So you've got to go 10 times 1 such that it sums to, no, such that difference, the difference is 9. And I think I know which one it is. This is going to be easy. Well, but here,
yeah, 10 and 1, that's right.
It's going to be 10 and 1 because you want a difference of 9, a difference. So this one's going to be 10 times 1 because 10 times 1 is 10, 1 times 1 is 1, the difference is going to be 9. So we're ready to put our front numbers again. So 10M and 1M. And by the way, on this one, I'm going to put here worksheet. This is, you can call it 94, which comes from this down here, or you can call it the police one, whatever. Because this you're going to have to turn in, you have to turn in the work for everything anyway. But this one has to be especially neat because I don't want you to have to rewrite the whole entire thing unless you want to. But I'm going to be looking for the work for 12 problems. So this was 10M times 1M. And then our last numbers we know are 1 and 1. And we need more positives. So it looks like right here, if I leave these positive, that's our 10M. So I don't put a positive. Where am I going to put the positive? No, it's actually this times this. So this is going to be our positive. And then this is going to be our negative, such that 1 times 10M is 10M, minus 1 is our positive 9, and that's it. So I'm not going to ask you that you rewrite it unless you want to, but that goes with the, what letter?
C.
Down here. It is the letter C. In fact, please go ahead and put that this came from the number 12. So the number 12, yeah, there's only 12 things here, so it's not going to be hard to fill out, which means you're going to have a lot of these left over. So you really need to know what to do. So you're going to put the letter C. We'll do a couple more, and then I'm going to leave you on your own in just a few minutes. Hold on, let's see what time. Okay, so the next one. How do you have to work out that one? If there's a is there anything in common? There's no M in common. There's no number. So you just start that one. So because there's a number in front, what do you have to do? Multiply them 3 times 8. So this is the number 11. 3 times 8. And the back number, this is going to be a little bit harder because there's a couple combinations for this. And this last sign is a sum number, such that we're going to sum and get a negative 10. So what's the only factor of 3? What times what? 3 times 1. What do you want to try on the 8? What?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. Okay, so 2 and 4. I think that's going to, is that going to do it?
Yes.
Well, 3 and, oh, that's it. No. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 4 is 4. And they have to sum to the negative 10. So, in fact, both of these have to be negative when we get done. So, we've got our front numbers, which is because I'm not having you write on the paper right here, that's an M, so 3M and 1M. And the 3 is connected to the 2. That 3 is connected to the 2. The 1M is connected to the 4. And who knows what the signs are going to be such that we get a negative 10. Negative and negative. We're summing both of those so that they're negative. So negative times negative gives us our positive, and that works out. So that answer is somewhere. Where is that answer? The R? I think it's this one right here. It's this one. All right, so this one is your number 11. Okay, we're done with that. And so the 11 gets the R. We'll do a couple more, and then I'll tell you what you need to do. Is there a number you can pull out on the number 10?
Yes.
This one's going to be easy. You can pull out the
2.
You can pull out a 2. Can you pull out a letter?
Yes.
An M. So let's see what's left. What's left is 2 times what is going to give you 50? We've pulled out 1 M. How many M's are left? And this one I have to say a little bit different. 2M, let me do this. 2M times what will give us 2M back? 1. And it was a minus. This one should be super easy because it's a binomial, the square of binomials, that causes the middle to drop out. So what's the only way I can get a 25M squared? Is 5M times 5M. To get a negative 1, I need a what sign and a what sign? A positive and a negative, and 1 and 1. Such that if I added 1M, 5M plus a negative 5M, the middle would drop out. That is our answer. So we're done with this one, this one, and this one. And where's that? That is it. Okay. And so just put again that that came from the number 10. Because if you don't put it, I don't know what goes with what. So the 10, we put the letter P. And we'll see if we can finish up this row. And then you're going to be having 12 problems left if we can get it all done. All right. Then on number 9, is there something that we can pull out? A 5. So, and there's no letter. So it's going to be 5 times 3M squared minus 5 times 2 will give us that back. Minus 5 times what will give us 25? 5. And then because there's this is going to be easy because they're both prime numbers, 3 and 5. But this, if there's a number in front, in fact, we can already put 3m, put your parentheses, 3m times 1m. And this sign here is negative. So my factors should be a difference of 2. So 3 times 5, such that the difference comes to a negative 2. And there's only one way to do 3. There's only one way to do 5. So who knows the combo?
1 and 5 and 3 and 1.
There you go, 3 times 1 and 1 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 1 is 3. The difference is that. All right, so we've got our front numbers already. So the 1m, the 1 goes with the 5. So that 1 was on the inside, so the 5 is on the inside. And the 3 goes with the 1. So the 3 was on the outside, it goes with this one. And then I end up getting a 5m and a 3m. I need more negatives. Where does the negative have to go?
5.
With the 5. So that's right here. And this one gets a positive. And that's it. So find that. Make sure you get it down. And I think is that this one? No, that's not it.
T.
And you're right, that's it right there. So that went with the number 9. Two more to do, and then we're... Oh, wow, okay. All right, what can we pull out of the number 8?
3.
A 3 and a what? 3m. And we have a trinomial left. 3m times what will give us 15m squared? 5m to the what power? Squared. 3m times what will give us 24m squared?
6m.
Was it 6 or 8?
Oh, 8.
8m. And then 3m times what will give us 9m? 3. Right. This takes a little bit of work, but this one should be easier because the 5 is prime, the 3 is prime, and it's all plus. So our factors are going to sum to that positive 8. So 5 times 3 sums to a positive 8. So this is going to be easy. Factors of 5 are 1 times 5, 1 times 3. Who knows the combo?
5 and 1 and 1.
There you go. 5 times 1 is 5, 1 times 3 is 3. And so let's see. So we'll start with this outside. So it's going to be 1 and 5, 1m times 5m. And that 1 goes with the 3 on the outside. And the 5 on the inside goes with the 1 on the inside. And our signs are all positive. That should be it. Such 5m plus 3m is our 8m. Was that the very first one? Yes. It's in a different order, but it doesn't matter. So this number 8 goes with the letter O. The same. Okay, and one more, and then you should be on your own. Okay. Right. What can we pull out of the number 7? A 2, and there's no letter, so 2 times 2m squared minus 2 times 9m plus 2 times 7 will give us that. Again, that last number is a positive, which means we'll sum our factors. This one's going to be super easy because 2 times 7 should sum to a negative 9. What's the only way you can get a 2? The only way to get a 7 is a 1 times 7. What's the combo? The what? Say it again?
2 and 1, 7.
There you go. 2 times 1 is 2. 7 times 1 is 7. And that comes to, and both signs will be the same. Who knows what the signs are going to be?
Minus.
They have to both be negative. And so 1 times 2, 1m times 2m. And that 1 went with the 7. 1 goes with the 7. And the 2 on the inside goes with the 1. And that is it. So the number 7 goes where it starts with the 2. I think it's this one right here. Goes with the n. Alrighty, so 7n. All right. So what I would start with is, okay, I would start with finishing up these harder ones, the 1 through 6. Then, so these are the harder ones. Then when you get done with that, there's nothing you can pull anything out. So these are ready to go. And look for this one is a perfect square. So 5u plus, you're going to figure it out. Perfect square, and that's the only perfect square. So you guys can begin. I would finish those first. Alrighty? Mm-hmm. And if you're better working on your own, tell them, I'm better working on my own. Yeah. And I did send the video out yesterday. So if you were not here yesterday, we did these. You had to do those. You really need to watch the video. And we said these also. And I sent it out to your parents, also to each of your personal videos, your personal emails. Oh, you can't see because I put it on trees.